Hey there, I'm Lance and I'm a gamer.
And I'm Sam and I'm a non-gamer.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to help gamers find great games to play with non-gamers.
And today we're taking a look at Honeycombs.
Honeycombs is a game in which you are going to be drawing tiles out of this really cool cloth bag and laying them out, making a giant honeycomb. In this one, you can play 3 different ways. You can play cooperatively or you can play competitively. And with competitive play, you can either do real time where everybody's trying to play simultaneously and fast as you can, or you can do turn-based mode, a little more strategic with that particular one. The idea with this one is to match up the icons, the symbols on the different tiles, to score as much points as you possibly can. Let me show you how it works down below, and then we'll come back and share thoughts on it as a gamer and non-gamer. All right, I have Honeycomb on the table. Now let me show you guys what you get here with this tile laying game. Obviously, you have lots of hex tiles that are going to have honeycomb etched into the back of them and then painted symbols around the edges of the hex on each side. And some of the tiles are going to have special icons in the middle, like this bee right here, or this bandit, which will let you be able to steal another player's turn. You have lots of these, and these are hard plastic, good quality tiles here, and a cloth bag that they will all fit in, and you do have a little rule pamphlet here that will explain the rules. So that's what you get here with this game. Now let me explain the rules for it. Now there are 3 different ways that you can play this game. I'm really going to focus on 2 of the ways because the third way is just for fun. It's not really competitive. It's something that you do together. So the first way that you can play this game is a real-time speed version of the game. You're going to divvy up these tiles and you'll give a certain number to each player depending on player count, and those players will take the tiles that they have and they will make 3 stacks face up in front of themselves. So I'm going to make 3 stacks here real quick, and with these 3 stacks, on the count of go, all the players will then use all of the tiles in their stack to form a connection. And so I'm going to move these tiles out of the way here. And what you have to do with these tiles, you have to match up like symbols here. So bear with the bear. And then we would continue forward. And so now that I've got this spot right here, I need to match the honey with the bee. And so I could do that, but unfortunately that makes an invalid connection. And so I couldn't do that in actuality. I'd have to find a different place, and look right there, that actually does work because the flowers match up and the honey matches up. And I would continue to do this, and once I've used up all my tiles, then I would declare that I'm done, and all the players would have to stop, and then they would look at my puzzle, my connections here, and make sure that I fulfilled all the rules, that I didn't have any invalid connections. But also you can only have 1 tile that is set off to the side that's not already connected to more than one other tile. So for instance, this one right here is only connected to 1 tile right there. I can only have 1 tile that is like that. And so in other words, I can't make a train of tiles that are just going off like so. That would be a breaking the rules right there, and I would not be able to be considered the person who has ended the round. I would have to continue going, and then all the other players would get to go as well. Now what you're trying to do is you're trying to make as many connections, and this connection right here would actually be worth 2 points. And if you're able to completely encircle a tile, then that center connection is going to be worth 5 points. Whoever has the most points and has a valid puzzle in front of them is going to be the winner. You actually play 3 rounds of that, and whoever has the most points after 3 rounds would be the winner. Now that is the speed version of the game. The slow version of the game is going to have all the tiles be placed in the bag, and you will draw, and each player will have 3 tiles that they will keep hidden. And so these would be my 3 tiles. They'll be in my hand, and then you'll have 1 tile that'll be out in the middle of the board to start the game off with. And starting with the first player, they will play one of their 3 tiles to make connections. And when you make a connection, you get a point. And if it had something in the middle, which this tile does not, but this tile right here does, then you get to perform that. And so that would be the bandit, the steal action. I'd get to steal another player's turn, and then I would go again. And when you have only 2 tiles, you would draw from the bag and replace that one. Some of the other things that you will see, you'll see a B on here, and there's going to be some ones that let you double the points. If I can find one, it'll say ×2 on it. I can't find one right now, but anyhow, there are a handful in the game that are going to give you extra abilities when you play them. There's a ×2, so this will give you twice the points when you make connections with it. So like for instance right there, I made a double connection, bear, and honeycomb. And so then instead of that being 2 points, that'd actually be worth 4 points. And you'll keep track of your points throughout the course of the game, and once you've used all the tiles, the game will be over, and who has the most points will be the winner. And that's how you play Honeycomb. Now let's go back up top and share our thoughts on this one. And we're back, and now we're going to share our thoughts on Honeycombs from a gamer and non-gamer's perspective. And we do want to thank the creators of this game for sending us this particular copy to review for this video. So Sam, let's talk about this one, and I think the first thing that we ought to share with the people at home is that we did play this game when we were traveling,
Yes.
when we were camping, and I think it's got to be said with this particular game that it is such a cloth bag that holds all of the tiles in it, and you can literally just throw that into a bag. You literally can throw it into a bag and take it wherever you want to go, and it's that easy to break out and play. So that's a huge pro in my book.
For us,
yeah, because it's just so easy to get it out and take it wherever you're going to go and get it to the table. Also, to that, it is easy to teach. It's easy to understand. We played it
with all of our kids.
Yeah, I think we did. I think we played it with all of our kids, even our 3-year-old, because it's a very easy idea to understand. You're matching up these tiles with the icons, and so that's a really cool thing about it. What else? What did you think about this particular game, Sam?
I think when I first saw it, because he had it set up with the kids outside before I saw everything.
I played a game with them.
And when you see it, I think it looks very childish. Like
almost looks like a toy.
Yeah, it looks like a kid's game. It looks like just a simple matching game. And that's what I thought it was at first, which is fine. I'll play that with our kids. But when you actually play, I mean, obviously adults would be better at this.
Well, sure.
But it is more than that. There is a little bit more strategy. They were the ones that you just had. They have different icons in the middle.
Give you special abilities.
And then I think, us and our older kids have a better ability to match more than one at a time.
And observe the playing field and see where the best placement
But I
for
think
ones
this
are.
has a very wide range of age, which is fantastic for our family because we, age all the way down from 3 to old. And so I think this is a really good family game, but you don't have to play with kids either.
No, you don't. It could be played with adults or older teenagers and still have a good experience with this one. It's really light, and so this is going to be the kind of game that you're probably not going to be playing with your heavy hardcore gamers, but I don't think it's marketed for that at all. I mean, obviously this is a family game or even a kid's game that could be played with parents.
I think some problem that we have with playing our games with kids is it just lasts so long, and sometimes it's something they want to do right before bedtime, and so something like this is fairly quick. It's easy to set up. It's light. Like, this is the perfect game for us to have for our children. And
you also have those variant player modes with this game. And so you can play it super quick where it's simultaneous and it's go, 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 go. I will say with that kind of does make it so that the younger kids aren't going to be doing as well as the older kids or the adults. Because
so it depends on how many people you want to cry
go,
before
go,
bedtime.
Right, yeah. But you do have the cooperative mode with it too. And that can be something that everybody can get in on. So you know, those are good things whenever you're thinking about playing with young kids.
I think for something that, comes in a bag, looks just like matching picture tiles, I think they did a really good job with the diversity that you can have with something so simple.
All right, let's get to pros and cons for Honeycombs. Sam, what for you are the big pros with this particular game?
I mean, I think I said all of it already. But I think the diversity that you have with such a simple game.
Yeah.
And I think something that can be thrown in the car, thrown in a bag.
Yeah.
You're not worried about, bending something in here. It's
Right.
sturdy.
Yes, yeah.
So easy to travel with, easy to set up. Doesn't have a huge footprint.
No.
When you're playing it, and it's a wide. It lends itself to a wide variety of ages, and
Yep.
I think that works really well for us.
I think for me, the tiles are well made. These are hard plastic. They do have a little bit of weight to them,
Yeah.
and so they're durable.
to-
They're not gonna break. They're not gonna chip or anything. And so this is well made,
Yeah.
and it's great because we've been talking about playing with kids, and so you know how kids can be. They're gonna have a really hard time damaging these tiles.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy that. I also like the icons. They're bright. They're colorful. They really stand out, and there's none that you're confused about
Yes,
what they are.
I think that's a good. There's
know?
none that you're getting mistaken for
Right.
another one.
Yeah, and that's very important when you're talking about a spatial game and you're needing to see where everything is on the
Yeah.
board to try and match up these icons for maximum points. The icons are bright and clear and they stand out, so that's very important when you're talking about
Yeah.
that. Production value is pretty good on this one. Anything about this game that doesn't work too great for you?
Honestly, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I mean, it's a very light game, so you're not going to compare this to any of these games
Right.
behind us. It is mostly a children's game. It's light. It's meant to be played quickly and
Sure.
fun, and I mean, so you have to make sure you had the right idea.
Yeah.
But there's nothing about it that I would say would be a con.
Yeah, the only thing I could think is just simply that it's a one-trick pony. I mean,
Yeah.
and that could be said about 90% of kids' games.
But kids like that. They
or
like to
family
be able
games.
to understand,
Right.
Yeah.
But what I mean by that is that you probably wouldn't play this game 3-4 times in
Yeah.
a row. It might be the kind of game that you break out and you play once in a month or once in a blue moon, and everybody has a great time, and then you put it away, and then you wait a little while later, and somebody's like, "Hey, let's play Honeycombs," and then you get it off the shelf again and you play it. It's that kind of game.
Yeah.
So. All right, let's get to our scores for Honeycombs. Sam, on a scale of 1 to 10, where does this one come in at for you?
Well, I want to rate this on a kids game scale.
Sure.
So it is quite different than everything else. I think we have a couple of scales that we have
We
going
do.
on.
Yeah.
But as far as kids games go, I think this is a solid game, something that we're going to keep around, that is going to work for our 3-year-old, it's going to work for our 11-year-old, and it's super easy for us to travel with. So I would give it an easy 7.5.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. I know it might sound ridiculous to some people out there for us to score games on different scales, but you got to remember, for us, when a game hits the table often, that's going to increase the score. And we're playing with kids in our family,
Yeah.
and so we're going to rate those games as such, more so than the games you might see here back on the back shelf
Yeah.
that we would probably never play with our kids. And some
You
games
should
I
think
would
it's
never
funny
play
that
with Sam.
Boop is right here. Like,
Boop would be one we would play with our kids,
Yeah.
but that's a different story. And then to that also, having the energy and the right mindset to want to play a particular game, that's going to play a factor on how we score it and how we rate it. And everything that Sam has said is true with this particular game, in that it's easy to get it to the table. The kids are going to want to play it. And I'm not going to be pulling my hair out of my head while I play it with them. And so with that being said, there's good remarks for this particular game. And honestly, I'm a 7.5 too. Right? What Sam said, that's exactly where I'm at. It's a fun game, and it's one that I would be happy to play with my kids and help them. This is another pro we didn't throw in there, but it's a great learning experience for them on tile laying and seeing the playing field is spread and the spatial area grow in the actual gameplay experience. This is a great learning experience for them,
I think,
to get to other games.
one more pro, which do we need any more? Our older two are learning how to play games, just the two of them, without our help.
Right.
And this is a really good game. They're not going to mess it up. They're not going to,
Right.
bend cards or put it back together the wrong way. This is a really good game for kids learning how to play games independently.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. And the cleanup is easy. Just throw it in there, and that's all they got to do. So,
I still won't do that.
Well, yeah, I'll have to do it. But yeah, exactly. But that's all there is with Honeycombs. Leave us some comments down below. Let us know what you think about this particular game.
Make sure to like and subscribe and push that bell button so you get notifications of all our new content.
I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.